Hey everybody, this video today is going to be about bass drum muffling, and one of the ways that I have used over the years that I kind of came up with but kind of didn't. I've always been a real big fan of Simon Phillips. He's definitely in my top 5 favorites. Very influenced by him, and a lot of the tunings and a lot of way I tune is based right off of what he does. Including on my last video, the tom tuning, like the even on the top and bottom and how to tune. But the bass drum thing too, I do what he does too, which is both sides of both heads are barely tensioned at all. They're really loose, just enough to get the wrinkles out, really, and it's very, very loose. Then on the batter head, along the bottom, he rolls up a towel, like in a kind of a tube shape, and he puts it down there, and then he slathers it with duct tape, which I just don't understand, because like Simon is so particular about things looking nice and being nice, and he's playing like a $30,000 drum set, and then he duct tapes and a lot of times he'll use a clear head on the front, and you can see all that. I just always thought it was ugly, and I didn't want to do that like that. I don't even know if I ever even tried that, just because of the way it looks, So I'd had this idea in my head of a way to do that differently where it would look nice. And then I discovered that there's a product already that it was what I had in my mind, but it's not exactly what I like. Remo makes, there's a Dave Weckl system. I mean, you can go look it up, and it's in the $40 to $45-ish range. And it's kind of the same concept, really, but the metal brackets that they have, you use double-sided tape and stick it on the inside of the shell, and I don't love that idea because a lot of times on the inside of the shell it's like not finished, so it's just kind of the raw, kind of flat wood finish, and I just don't know if the tape would stick and hold for a long time. And so I came up with this method, and I was looking for brackets and trying to source like somewhere, and looked in hardware stores and things. But I ended up having some parts, or one at least, and I was like, this is it. So I ordered some of these, and then this is the system I came up with. So I'm going to show you in this video how to do this way. There's a lot of ways to muffle bass drums, tune bass drums. It's all personal preference. It's the sound you want and the feel that you want and everything. Everybody wants something different, and so this wouldn't work for everybody. And this produces a very open and boomy bass drum sound, almost nothing in it. I'm going to give another go at like recording with this. Now that I have 2 mics on the bass drum. I have a batter side and a resonant side. So I'm going to try to mix that out and see what I can get with this tuning, because stuffing it with towels and stuff, it sounded pretty good recorded. But I want to see, because this is how I would tune my bass drum acoustically for my ears. This is what I like to hear live in front of me, And so lots of ways to do it. I'm not saying this is the right way or the best way. This is just a way. And if you want to do this kind of way, I think this is a really good looking way to do it. And like I filmed the other stuff. I've already done it. This is not in order. Like I said when I was recording it earlier, you could use a black towel, and then it's like almost invisible, But my front head's white, and like it doesn't matter. So anyway, that's what this is going to be about. So I'm going to show you how where I get the parts and what they look like, and what I modify them a little bit, and then we're going to go into the bass drum, and I'm going to show you how I mount the things. It takes minutes to do. Works wonderfully, and it sounds pretty good. And it's an alternative to having just a wide open bass drum, which I've never been able to make that work very well. I mean, that's kind of too much. You need something kind of pressing on that batter head. At least the front head, I don't put any muffling on. Like it's just going to be let it resonate. And this is exactly how Simon Phillips does it. And you can listen to his bass drums on his recordings and everything, and it sounds, I mean, that just goes to show you how much change there is from how it sounds right here in front of you to your ears to how it sounds once you mic it and close mic it and mix it it sounds completely different. So I'm going to see what I can do with this. If I can't get as good a results as I did with putting towels all in it, then I'll put the towels back in it. You know, that's one use for the hole. But anyway, we'll go to the bench first and then we'll go from there. Now, the little brackets that I use for this, what these actually are, they are the pick guard bracket for like a Les Paul. And you can get these really cheap. You have to look. When I bought these, I feel like I got them on eBay, but I went back and looked and looking through my old purchases and I can't find them. So I went searching yesterday just to get a reference to tell y'all. And you know, some of them were kind of expensive. I mean, like an all parts one, like a real, you know, quality one, they're like $8, $9, you know. And if you have to buy 4 of them, you know, that gets to be kind of expensive. And the whole point of this is kind of to be able to do this on the cheap, you know. And so I looked around, and the best price I found, and it's an unbelievable price, but it's on AliExpress. So I mean, if you order it, you're gonna have to wait a little while for them. But I found a set of 5 of them for like $1.56 or something. It was, you know, so like $1.50, and you can get everything you need, because you're gonna need 4 of these. And so that's that. You'll have to widen these holes a little bit because the screws for your lugs are probably going to be bigger than that. What I use is a step bit like that, like a skinny step bit, and I'll go ahead in here and just kind of wallow those out. I wouldn't hold that with your hand like that. That's a mistake y'all have to make once. What I would do is like grab it with like something like that and then wallow out the hole. So I'm going to do that to those 4, and then what I use for the piece of muffling is, and it's gotten dirty somewhere, but it's a towel. I think it's a towel I cut in half. I had this other one too, but it's not put together. Apparently I rolled it up and then I put a couple of stitches. I took a sewing needle and some thread and stitched it. But I roll it kind of like that on the diagonal. That makes it where it's not all bunched up weird on the ends. It just works better. So, okay. Before we go and put the muffler thing in that I made, I'm gonna show you how I tune my batter head. I do it really, really loose. The front head I do similar, maybe the same, like very loose, but sometimes maybe a little tighter, just to get a little bit of more resonance out of it. But on this side, I want this to be really slappy, really punchy and loose. And as you can see, like there's hardly any tension at all. I mean, how I would show you, like take it down to 0 and give it a little hair, down to 0, a little bit, down to 0, tiny bit, down to 0, tiny bit, and they've got 10 lugs on this bass drum, and like that. So every one of them has just a tiny little bit of tension. Then I'll give it just kind of a hair more, hardly even a quarter turn. So there's not even a full half turn on this head. And you just want to make sure you don't have any wrinkles around the perimeter of it. But yeah, see, that's how I like my batter head on my bass drums. So from here, we'll put the muffler in. I'll show you that. Okay, here we are in the bass drum. I've got the front head and everything taken off, and I went to the bench and I opened up those holes a little bit bigger with the step bit, you know, which went really well. It wasn't too violent and I didn't hurt myself, so that's good. So what we're going to do is these 4 forest screws here. What we're going to do is we're going to take each one off, and you don't have to take this head off or do anything with that, because that screw is going to hold that lug. If you were taking both off, you'd need to do something for that. So then what I do with that is I just put this in here, like that. And I put it back over there. And these are so thin, they're not going to take too much thread off of that. See, so like that. And take the next one off. Put it in there. And see, I like this method better because that Dave Weckl system, which is really, really similar to this, they have metal brackets that come with them, and they look really cool. They're shaped cool, and I know they probably hold it in there real well, the towel thing. And they give you the towel thing too. It's kind of some pre-made, like pillowy thing. But you tape it to the shell. You know, it's like double-sided tape that you stick onto the inside of the shell, and I'm not crazy about that. I don't know that I would trust that to be very stable. Because it could come off and over years, and heat, you know, like heat and cold, and you know, I feel like eventually they'd come off. Plus the system is, you know, a little bit pricey. It's not crazy. Like I said, it's in the $40–45 range, something like that. So now those are all in there. I think you can see that. And then I get my towel thing that I made, which again is just a white towel that I think I cut it in half. It is cut. And then I rolled it up like that diagonally, and then I put a little stitch. You could glue it or something. But anyway, I think it looks better than the way Simon does it. Because, you know, Simon kind of does this same thing. He rolls up a towel and he puts it in there. And he has all this duct tape all slathered in there, and I think it looks terrible. And as a stickler as he is about stuff looking nice, I'm surprised he is okay with that. So anyway, just put that in there like that. And then with these, you know, like I said, look, you can put some curve on it even if you want to, and I will. Like that. Put a little curve on it. Kind of in the shape of the pillow, see? And then they bend really easily. Then kind of push it forward like that. And that'll hold that on there, and that is not going anywhere. And you could, you know, if you were gigging, you know, if you're taking your drums around, and a lot of times if you have some kind of pillowing kind of thing in here and you've laid it in here just so, and you're moving your drum in and out of the car and into the gig and whatever, and the pillows and whatever you got in there will go flying around inside of there. And you know, if you have a hole in the front, a vent hole, you can get in there and kind of reposition it, but sometimes that's hard. But if you opted to not have a hole in the front, I mean, you'd have to just shake the drum around until it kind of looked the way you wanted. But like that, that's all there is to it. And like I said, what I have in this, and I mean, it muffles it real good. The front side, I don't do any muffling because I like it to boom and resonate. But I mean, I've got $1.54 in this, you know, or you could. I think back when I bought these, I swear I got them off of eBay, and it was like a 20-pack of them for real cheap, you know. But like I said, I found them yesterday on AliExpress. You can get a pack of 5 of them for $1.54, and they're just Les Paul pick guard brackets. So I mean, at this point, that's it, and it looks nice. One thing on another drum set I had, one thing you can do to make it look even better, I had a black towel. It was a double bass set, and so I took a black towel and cut it in half. You can get a black towel at Walmart for probably a couple of bucks. But the black towel, it's even less, you know, visible than this, but I don't really care here because my front head here is a white, you know, it's a white Ludwig head, so you can't really even see into that anyway. But that's that rattling as these look. Anyway, so I'm going to put it back together, and we'll see how it looks and sounds. So I tuned it up and everything, put everything back together, put it back in place and connected everything. I haven't put my ride cymbal back on, but that's going to be my next video. I got something really cool to show you. It's right here. But it sounds good. It's going to sound bad right here because it's just my phone's mic and everything. Sounds really good in here. It probably sounds terrible there. I'll try to get like an actual recording of it and do that soon and have like an actual, like a video where like it's recorded and sounds good. But anyway, that's how I tune my bass drum. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.